I'm Simon Dewsbury, PGA staff professional here at Belmont Country Club, freezing myself out here. Obviously it snowed the last couple of days, so we've just come down here to make a couple of quick videos. One, to talk about making sure that we've got the relevant footwear to best utilize our golf swing and transfer energy into the golf ball, but also a little swing video as well, so that we can talk about how we can best practice. Even when we've got weather like this, you may not be able to get to the golf club or to your local range, but you can make some little snow golf balls which you can implement and use to better improve your impact and your follow through positions. Well, beginning of January and it snowed, so there isn't a huge amount going on, but it gives me an opportunity to talk about the swing a little bit, and particularly in relation to how our feet and our body react with the ground and how best to transfer our energy using the ground into the golf ball. So I've obviously got three different pairs of shoes here. These are the Footjoy Flex XPs, which I generally tend to wear on a day-to-day basis. Very lightweight, but they have a molded sole, and to be honest, if I was going to play golf, would not be something that I would personally want to use unless the ground was baked hard and I couldn't actually get anything to grip into the ground. When I'm actually coaching, I tend to wear these more. This is the Pro SL. The little nubbins or dimples, whatever you want to call on them, are a little bit more aggressive, but still a very lightweight shoe. So when I'm out and about coaching all day long, my feet and my legs don't get really tired when I'm wearing these. It's one of the most popular shoes, I think, on tour. But again, by and large, they're playing on immaculate golf courses where they can allow these dimples, the nubbins, whatever they are, you want to call them, can grip into the grass and into the fairways really easily. But if I'm personally going to play, I'm old school in that I grew up in the area of metal spikes, and I still have a couple of Footjoy Classics that I tend to really prefer. They have soft spikes in them nowadays, but the metal spikes and the heaviest shoe allowed me to really grip into the ground. And even now with just this pair of shoes that I have on now, can really feel that my feet are grabbing, and I've just been standing there in the ice and the snow, and they've already built up a nice little heel. I don't particularly like wearing high heels, so if we just smack them, get rid of all of that there, that now is going to allow the proper spikes that we can see on the bottom of the sole here now to actually grip and grab, particularly on a day where we've got icy conditions. We don't want to be standing on the surface where we're going to be slipping around. We want to be able to grip into the surface, and that's going to enable us in our golf swing to be able to use the ground and not have that foot from slipping out from underneath us, we can actually put the full energy of our golf swing now into the golf ball and into impact and through into our follow through. So depending on who you are, what you like to have on your feet, and how you feel your best way of getting energy from the ground and your body into the golf ball, make sure you've got the relevant footwear for you. Some people are going to like the lightweight molded patterns, some people are going to want the dimples. I personally would like to see us go back to metal spikes now. With the rules change coming forward, we can tap down and smooth out any spike marks. I think the metal spikes probably do less damage now than even these soft spikes do. I've seen when I've been coaching early morning or late into the evening where you've got dew patterns developing, and if you're just standing around for a few minutes, when you move your feet away, you can actually see with the low angle of sunlight coming across the green, you can actually see kind of really big circles where the weight of the person has been pushing down through that spike mark, through the soft spike. And I think that actually probably does more damage to how the golf ball is actually going to roll along the floor than a couple of spike marks from a metal spike. So I would personally prefer to see us go back to metal spikes. As I said, now with the rule change that we can tap down spike marks on our line, that's going to probably be something that we could possibly, manufacturers pay attention and move back towards. It's going to allow us to grab the ground better. It's going to be better for our ankles and knees. We're not going to be as likely to slip over, and it's going to allow us to probably play better as well. I know recently Nelly Corder touched on this subject as well, so she likes to have something that doesn't have really aggressive shoe patterns. She likes to feel that she's able to sit with the surface, and a softer shoe that's more pliable is going to allow her to feel the ground underneath her feet. Going to the opposite extreme to that, you've got the likes of Justin Thomas, who's kind of jumping out of his socks when he's at impact. Bryson DeChambeau, Tiger still wears metal spikes when he's playing. Hopefully we're going to see him back on tour in 2022 at some point. So again, making sure that you work with what's best for you is going to make you play to your best ability. I just think that if you have a smoother swing, you may be able to get away with that softer, smoother profile on the bottom of a shoe. If you are swinging a little bit more aggressively, you've got more speed in there, you probably want to have something that's going to enable you to grip the ground that little bit better. So coming on to the other reason for coming down here, we're on the practice range here at Belmont. I'm not going to actually hit golf balls out there. It's going to be a few days before we're going to be able to open the range and actually get out to pick any golf balls that we're going to hit. So we just made some little improvised balls from some tiny little snowballs. I'm now trying to warm my hands up, so put the gloves on, Footjoy Winter Softs. The two glove system works really well in the winter. Allows me to, it's a thin enough material that I can still feel the club in my hands really easily, but it allows me to keep both my hands nice and warm, as opposed to in the summer where I would still wear one glove. I know working in the Far East, two gloves is very, very popular all the way around the year, but the way that I grew up was always the glove hand was the lead hand coming through, and then the trail hand was always the hand that doesn't wear a glove, so you have a contrast in feels. But in the winter, I'm going to take comfort over feel just a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the cold myself, so the two gloves works really well. The reason that I've got these little snowballs down here, though, I've seen this quite a lot this year, particularly with newcomers into the game through the pandemic. We see a lot of people have the mentality that as they're swinging, they're kind of stopping as they get to the golf ball. And what we really want to try and instill is the feel that as we're swinging, the golf ball isn't really there. We're just able to swing through to a full finish, and having this little snowball here as opposed to a real golf ball helps with that mentality, because I know that the snow is just going to splat away. There's no real resistance there, so it really does feel as if there's nothing being hit whatsoever, which is the feeling that we get when we hit it out of the sweet spot. And it gives us that freedom to make a swing, complete through to a good solid finish. There's no real feel of impact at all, except where the club is making impact with, in our case, the mat right now on the winter period, and a divot on the grass in the summer. Again, get cold hands for a second here. Make one more little ball. Put those gloves back on. Really simple way of practicing, even if you can't get to the range or your golf club because of the snow on the ground, particularly in the northern states. Get out into your back garden, onto your back deck, make some little snowballs, and just have the focus on completing all the way through to the finish. The snowball isn't going to create any resistance, it's just going to disappear. But I've got my weight all the way through on my left side, my chest to my target, through to a full complete finish. It's a really simple way of committing all the way through the swing and not worrying about what is happening at or just after the moment of impact. We can commit fully. We're going to make ourselves better golfers. Alright, we've just reached 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much to everybody who has hit that subscribe button. Everybody who's new, who's just found me, don't forget the subscribe and the notification button, so all these new videos that are coming out, particularly when we're coming out here and suffering in the cold for you guys so we can make some good content for you, make sure you hit that notification and subscription button. We'll see you soon.